Call me in from 5. Good afternoon, thank you very much and welcome here to Borden-na-Mona Park, O'Connor Park in Tullamore today as a bumper weekend of camogie kicks off. The first spots in the All-Ireland finals in Croke Park will be decided here today as we have our two Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-finals. Slight hiccup at the start, but off we go. Now there's games in Croke Park later on, and tomorrow in UPMC Nolan Park the intermediate finals will be decided. Well, the under-16s, sponsored by Tesco, will also determine who will play in their All-Ireland final next week. But our focus here today for the next few hours, as I mentioned already, the Premier Junior semi-finals coming up at 3:30. It's Antrim against Clare. That's the second semi-final. But our first game thrown in at 1 o'clock is a repeat of the 2020 final, Armagh against Cavan, and who will book their tickets for August the 7th. They're two fierce rivals. Armagh were victorious on that day 2 years ago when they met at the start of this year's Littlewoods National League. It was Cavan who won by 1 point, 11 points to 10, and they'll be determined to do the same again. It promises to be a big day, and we hope you enjoy our coverage here in Borden-na-Mona O'Connor Park in Tullamore, or wherever you watch camogie this weekend, whether in person or through our streaming service brought to you in association with Rua TV on the Camogie Association YouTube channel or on RTE Sport later on. As you can hear in the background there, the stadium announcer is running through the two teams. We're about to do that in a moment. Conditions absolutely superb, a bit close, but there's no rain. There's a few clouds out there, right, and a slight breeze as well, but we can't wait for the action. And with that being said, let's look now at the 30 players that are going to line out with their respective teams, and we will start with Armagh. So the Armagh team is as follows. In goal, number 1, Kiri Devlin. Full back line of 2, Maeve Linehan. 3 is the full back Nicola Woods, and 4 is Emer O'Kane. The half back line where number 5 is joint captain Gemma McCann. Centre back number 6 is Emer Hayes, and 7 is Tierna Maguire. In midfield were number 8, the other joint captain for Armagh, Michelle McCardle, and she's partnered by number 9, Leanne Donnelly. The half forward line, 10, Jennifer Curry, 11 is Sinead Quinn, and 12 is Ellie McKee. And in the inside line, number 13, Emer Smith. Full forward number 14 is Ciara Donnelly, and number 15, Rachel Merry, completes the Armagh team. Their manager is Jim McKernan, and they have a healthy panel too that we'll run through over the course of the game. Now you might have heard in the background there's a couple of changes to the Cavan team that are starting. This is their lineup. In goal number 1, Jenny O'Rourke. Full back line 2, Anya Finnegan. 3 is Erin Galligan, and 4, Namonde Majola. The half back line were number 5, Aileen Coyle, she's the joint captain. 6 is Rosie Crow McKeever, and where number 7 is Suzanne Cusack. In midfield were number 8, the other joint captain Josephine Maguire. Partner number 9, Hannah Fitzsimons. The half forward line 10, Christina O'Reilly. The first of those changes, number 21, Clodagh Keenan, comes into the team at centre forward, replacing Roisin O'Keefe, and 12 is Niamh Keenan. And the inside line, top of the right, where number 22 is Anya Corcoran. She replaces number 13, Ciara Fitzpatrick. Full forward, number 14 is Denise Fitzsimons, and where number 15 is Emer Brady. Their manager is Philip Brady, and again, we will run through their panel over the course of the game. So as you can see on your screen there, Cavan one of the Cavan players, that's Namonde Majola, getting some instructions there. Armagh going through their warm-up as well. The referee is in the middle of the field, and there is the referee and his team. The referee for today is Brian Carney from Kildare, the standby referee Rebecca Barker from Tyrone, the other linesperson Paul O'Neill from Antrim, and the fourth official Gavin Dunnigan from Dublin. And Gavin was just getting himself in position as I work my way back up to the commentary box here in Borden-na-Mona O'Connor Park in Tullamore. As we mentioned, a super weekend of camogie as the 6 semi-finals in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Championships take place, and of course we also have those 2 Tesco All-Ireland Under-16 finals. So looking at the Cavan team there as well, what progress they have made since winning the Nancy Murray Cup just back in 2020, and of course back-to-back league titles in 2021 and 2022. They're a formidable outfit, our Cavan, as are Armagh. Champions in 2020, but of course with the COVID year, they didn't get promoted at Medco Park for last year's final before going down to Wexford in that decider. We'll be talking to our co-commentator in just a couple of moments, Jimmy Greville, who knows a thing or two about both teams, especially the Cavan side. Of course, he's the current Dublin Intermediate Camogie manager as well. All games have to be decided on the day. There will be extra time. We will also go to penalties if need be to determine who will qualify for the final. This is the first game that's throwing in at 1 o'clock. Armagh coming in as favourites, but as I mentioned already, they've already lost to Cavan in this calendar year. Of course, the Armagh management were All-Ireland winners last year as well. Jim McKernan leading Antrim to glory in intermediate. Can he work the trick again for the Orchard County? Well, Cavan, as I mentioned, moving up the ladder. Hard to believe that they only made a return to inter-county action a couple of years ago, and here they are now, trying to get into Croke Park for the first time. And of course, now delighted to be joined by my co-commentator, Jimmy Greville. And Jimmy, just as we're talking about Cavan there as well, you know a thing or two about them. Even though you're not the Cavan manager anymore, you'd be so impressed that they've continued building the progress that they've done under your term in charge.
Massive, yeah. They're a super bunch of girls, like, you know what I mean, and they got a few new girls back, and I see there now coming in there, coming across the field. I seen Roisin O'Keefe running across the field. That is, if that's not a boost to anybody, that woman will walk onto any senior county team in the country, so she would. And to have her back, I don't know if she's starting or not, but if she's especially an option to come off the bench, they're going to be very, very dangerous today. So
yeah, they named Roisin O'Keefe in the original team, but there has been a change. Clodagh Keenan is coming in for Roisin O'Keefe as well. The other change, Anya Corcoran, replacing Ciara Fitzpatrick. But as you mentioned, Roisin O'Keefe, like, we didn't think we'd see herself or Ciara Finnegan this year. It might be a couple of weeks away for Ciara. Maybe she get to Croke Park if the result goes for Cavan today. But Roisin O'Keefe, we expect to see at some time over the hour.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know what I mean, and it's like, you know, like the work that she's put in after getting the injury there last year and stuff to get back. You know, like, it's a credit to her, but like, is like also like the rest of the girls. In a way, she wasn't missed, you know, like, which is a good sign of a strong panel. Like, you know, when a player of her calibre wasn't about, and then still to be able to go and get success in a national league and dominate the Division 3 National League, be honest about, like, you know what I mean. I got a rude awakening in the last round of it against them, you know what I mean, a bit of payback, I'd say, but they no, definitely they were, you know, like, they're there, but Armagh won't lie down and let them walk over them either.
Of course, Jimmy was touching on the fact you are the Dublin Intermediate manager. We'll ask you about that over the course of the commentary as well. Shanice Fitzsimons, the star performer that day. She hasn't scored a goal in the championship yet. Today could be the day for her.
That's it, yeah. Like, you know, like, it's a big wide open field there, and, you know, like, if they get enough low ball into Shanice, you know what I mean, she's dangerous. Like, you know what I mean, she'll turn you on a sixpence, and the power she has on her strike is absolutely phenomenal.
But of course, we talk about the danger there in Cavan. Sure, look at the Armagh team there. Like, we used to think that it depended on Ciara Donnelly an awful lot, but Jennifer Curry, a lot of people in Cork would know her as Jennifer O'Leary into that team as well. Leanne Donnelly operating in midfield. Another player stepping up for Armagh this year. They've been formidable, 13-90 in the campaign so far. Yeah, like
it's phenomenal. They're always, they've been knocking on the door a long time. Like, you know what I mean. They won it back in 2020 in Breffni Park. No promotion that year, obviously, but like either team here today, if they win today and go into Croke Park, and, you know, like, any of the last four, you know, they'll hold their own in intermediate and even push on in it as well. Like, so it's a credit to them, to the work that they're putting in, and it'll just come down to, at the end of the day today, both games, but especially this one, who wants it the most. And
it shows as well, Jimmy, the work not just has gone in with Armagh and Cavan, as you touched on the second game as well. Like, when I heard of an Antrim second team this year, I thought it was that a big step, but they have stepped up to the plate, look very, very good. And of course, great work going on in Clare as well. We're going to be treated to two cracking contests here. It shows how the standard of Premier Junior has really upped in the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, definitely, you know what I mean. Like, like, realistically, at the end of the day, the big winner is Camogie. Like, you know what I mean. Like, to have these teams pushing and, you know, being able to compete at the highest level in the biggest pitches. You know, it's not too long ago where, you know, like, a semi-final of a junior would have been in a club pitch somewhere. Like, you know what I mean. Look how far they're after coming on. Like, you know, in Nolan Park today, quarterfinals and intermediate in O'Moore Park, and here now today here in, you know, O'Connell Park. It's phenomenal to get them girls out there playing in the big day. So then when they do eventually get to the big stage up in Croker, you know what I mean, it won't be as big of a jump, you know what I mean, to get into it. But it's, you know, I'm delighted to be asked to do it today, and I'm really looking forward to two cracking games of Camogie.
Pleasure as ours having you here as well, Jimmy. We're looking forward to the two games, and who knows, maybe a bit more as well, because these are two games. I was looking at these stats, and we'll go through some of them over the course of the game, but even taking these two teams alone, like, Armagh will be coming in as red hot favourites based on what they've achieved in recent years, but of course Cavan beaten them by a point as well. Many people thought this would be the final. That's how competitive this competition has been. There's no guarantees in it as well. A lot of pressure on both teams as well, but that ticket to Croke Park, the first ticket to the All-Ireland finals, at stake here.
that's it exactly. Like, you know what I mean. Like, and that's what at the end of it, that's what they look for. You know what I mean. When you set your goals, you know what I mean. You have your little individual goals, your own team goals, but the big one is today. Like, you know what I mean. Like, it's to get over step here, to get up to Croke Park and show them exactly what people can do. Like,
the semi-finals are all about winning, and teams are getting themselves in position. You can see the Armagh midfielders in the middle of the field. They will be attacking the goal to the left in the first half. I mentioned in the intro there is a breeze there, especially in the high ball blowing towards the town goal to the right, which will slightly favour Cavan in the first half. Are you expecting the elements, Jimmy, to have much of a say in this game?
In the first 10 minutes, no. You know what I mean. Like, I would say, like, the way that they're going to be setting up is, you know, like, you can see Ciara Donnelly in there on Aaron Galligan. You know what I mean. Like, that's going to be one of the best battles of the year between them. Like, you know what I mean. Like, Ciara won't get anything easy there. You know what I mean. But if they move the ball fast and they go from there, they would be any team to be reckoned with.
We're just looking at the screen there at the moment. I think I don't know if somebody's dropped the lens now or what's going on, but there's definitely going to be a hold up for a couple of moments there as both sets of midfielders are. I'm assuming it's a contact lens, Jimmy, because the coin toss would have been done already.
Yeah, well, I was just hoping if it was the coin toss, it wouldn't be a small coin like that they'd be using, but obviously it is something, you know, like the contact lens, and you know what I mean. There you go. Like, is it a bit of nerves creeping in already? Like, you know what I mean. It's a strange one now.
Yeah, we certainly hope anyway for the player involved, and we're only speculating because we're not too sure, but we are going to have a delay in a couple of moments, and you just touched on the nerves there as well. It builds on that too, because since both these teams qualified, and of course both these teams had qualified with a round of spare, so they knew for 4 weeks they were going to be in the semi-final. They wouldn't have known until a week later exactly who their opponents would have been as well, but a lot of work would have been put in both managements as well, because at the risk of repeating ourselves, the carrot is massive. What's at stake?
Oh, huge, yeah, definitely. Like, you know what I mean. Like, and it is like these girls will be like regardless of whenever they get going here now, like, you know what I mean, like the first 10 minutes is going to be, they're going to try to set down the marker each side, like, you know what I mean, and really set a dominance in the game from the start.
I think it's a contact lens for Hannah Fitzsimons has been found, alright, so she'll be just checking it's okay, and everything seems to be okay. There was a spare one brought out, or was that the original one? But either way, we are good to go here, and this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final here in Boardamona O'Connor Park in Tullamore, and eventually get it right, is underway. The referee blows the whistle for a foul. It's going to be a free for Armagh, and it'll be a chance for, looks like, joint captain Michelle McCardle is going to take that, though Leanne Donnelly, I was assuming Leanne Donnelly will be the player to take that. So the play restarts. Leanne Donnelly with a long ball down in towards the corner now, finding Emer Smith. Emer Smith goes for a shot from an acute angle. The umpire doesn't like it. That ball has gone to the left and wide.
Yeah, you know, like a ball going in there like that, like you see straight away, it's quick to the channels, and in the Armagh inside line will be very dangerous.
The goalkeeper for Cavan is Jenny O'Rourke, and Jenny O'Rourke sent the long ball down the right flank, right in front of us here in the commentary box, and she'll be hoping that one of her teammates, who's Josephine, actually no, it's Hannah Fitzsimons, wins the ball, so no problem with the contact lens, but the delivery in is blocked down by Emer O'Kane, and she sends the ball out the field. Good bat down by Aideen Coyle, one of the joint captains for Cavan. Both these teams have joint captains here today. Josie Maguire, the other for Cavan. The referee says it's too many steps against the Cavan player. A few decisions just going against them in the early stages as everybody settles down. There'll be a chance for Leanne Donnelly, who scored 4 points in that All-Ireland final in 2020 against Cavan, just tying her laces before taking the free. She'll be hoping for more luck. She did find her teammate Emer Smith with the first ball. What would she do with this one again? Sending it in towards the inside line. That battle, as mentioned, between Erin Galligan and Ciara Donnelly, worth the admittance fee alone. Cavan just trying to bring the ball out, but good work being done by Armagh to gain possession of the ball. And again, it's Emer Smith involved in the play, gets it up, gets ahead of Emer Brady, who looks like she's dropped back as an extra defender, gives the pass off for Gemma McCann, and Gemma McCann will send it in towards the house again. The Cavan defence need to be careful, especially when you have Jennifer Curry wearing number 10, knocking around there as well, but it's Nomonda Manjola that wins the ball for Cavan, sends the ball out towards the right, and the averted danger. So Cavan's defence dealing with 2 Armagh attacks in the early stages. As you can see on your screen, we've just played over 2 minutes of action. Emer Hayes with the ball for Armagh. She wins the free, and she's going to take it herself straight away from the hands. The referee not
45.
Happy with that.
It was outside the 45 there, so like it's going to be a free in now for the quick free with that new rule in. It's been on the sideline, you know, in the heat of the moment. You want to get it, you want to give it. You have to really know where you are, because that's a
There's the
That's an
instinctiveness
easy-
too when you're in your
yeah.
defensive half of the field,
Yeah.
but of course you have to be inside the 45
inside
for
the
that
45.
defensive free from the hands that you can take in camogie if you are the player that is fouled. But as Jimmy just mentioned, it has to be inside the
I
45.
thought it was a throw in now myself. I think that rule is a throw in. If you foul, it's not a free.
I think even the referee's having a nervous
Yeah,
start to the game as well, because he is coming back now to do the throw in. Jimmy, I'd say you must be mic'd up to yourself here in the commentary box anyway. But we're ready to restart the action. So, of course, everybody getting themselves settled down in the early stages of this match, but it's won again by Emer Hayes, so she makes up for all that. And Armagh will send it down the left again in the direction of Rachel Merry. She was joint captain in 2020, but this is Ciara Donnelly. Ciara Donnelly sending the ball in towards the house there. Just wouldn't come into the hands of Emer Smith. Goes out to the left and wide. Armagh getting a couple of chances, no scores yet.
Yeah, definitely. Like you see there, the first ball in, she made about 25-yard run, ball to hand, turn. She's only one thing on her mind, and that scores. Like, you know what I mean. And like for Cavan to be, you know, once Cavan keep her out that far out the field, they'll be in a good way.
Well, she's already come out to the 40 to try and get involved in the action, but you can see the breakdown here around the 65-metre line that Armagh are definitely winning that battle. Jennifer Curry with a ball in for Sinead Quinn. Sinead Quinn wearing number 11 on the back, gives it to the red boots of Michelle McCardle. Michelle McCardle sends a dangerous ball down, and it's gone over the bar, but Jenny O'Rourke couldn't take any chances with that. It's taken nearly 4 minutes for the first score. Michelle McCardle with a point. Armagh 1, Cavan no score.
Yeah, brilliant score. Like, that was great recycling play, and like the big thing you can notice from here anyway is the support play from Armagh in the middle third is phenomenal. They're coming off the shoulder at pace. That's where that score came from.
And we mentioned that breeze is not going to be a major factor. It does favour Cavan in the first half, but Armagh are looking very, very hungry and determined to get home with this. And Sinead Quinn with the ball again at a high dropping. Oh, it's going to carry itself, is it? And it carries over the bar. I thought at first when she hit that, it was going to be a dropping ball into the attack, but Sinead Quinn knew exactly what she was at. Puts the ball over the bar. Armagh are on track, 2 points to nil.
Yeah, that's fun. Again, like, it's the little bit of experience there, no panic on the ball. You know what I mean? Get the ball on target and anything can happen.
So anything can certainly happen as Jenny O'Rourke restarts the action for Cavan again. Long drive down, look at the distance she gets in there past the 65-metre line. And Niamh Keenahan, the dual star, with possession. This is an excellent shot from our vantage point. Will it be good enough to go over the bar? Not to be. Kiri Devlin knows exactly how to deal with that. Knocks it out into the space and goes after the ball herself. He's surrounded by 3 Cavan attackers, including Shanice Fitzsimons, but gets the ball away. However, Aideen Coyle likely to send it back. Spots a teammate running forward as Hannah Fitzsimons gets away from her, and it's Michelle McCardle with the ball, gives it off to Ellie McKee, and Ellie McKee with a long ball and a bit of space opened up here for Armagh. If they can take advantage of it, the ball is in the hands of Emer Smith. She goes for the shot at the post. That won't happen on that occasion. The ball goes to the left and wide, 3 wides to nil, but Armagh straight away not wasting time with the ball, Jimmy.
No, definitely not. Here in the half back line as well. Like, they're one goal, and that's to get the ball into the inside line quick. You know what I mean? I just thought the inside line, if they stay in a little bit deeper, they might get more joy out of it. They're just a little bit too far out the field.
Just in the early stages of the match, Cavan will want to cover this without conceding a goal, but it's Armagh in on the ball. Ellie McKee, good work from the Breffni women there to regain possession, but they haven't got control of the sliotar yet. And Michelle McCardle in there fighting for possession on the Cavan 65-metre line. Has done well, the joint captain, gives it off to the Gemma McCann, the other joint captain, down in towards the space for Rachel Merry. Rachel Merry up against Namanda Majola. The referee spotted a pull of the jersey, so it's going to be a free in for Armagh, and you would assume, Jimmy Greville, this would be Ciara Donnelly's chance to go off the mark.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like, she's a sharp shooter, like, you know what I mean? There'll be very few frees on the field inside 60 yards that you wouldn't say that she put over the bar, but even with Rachel Murray there, like, she was out for injury last year and she's back this year, and like, she was a huge force in Armagh Camogie over the years.
You can see, you saw the supporters there in the main stand a moment ago. They're glued to the action as we watch Ciara Donnelly, Player of the Year in 2020, scored 13 points in that 2020 All-Ireland final. Takes the free. This is her first score of the game. She has sliced the ball. I think that's gone to the right and wide. She'll be very, very disappointed with that. The wides are building up for Armagh.
Commentator's curse there, I think, on that one, but it's, you know, like, if they keep getting the ball in fast, they'll still do damage.
So Jenny O'Rourke has been very, very busy in the opening 7 minutes of this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final here in O'Connor Park in Tullamore. The long ball down inside the opposing 65-metre line. And this is the opportunity that Cavan have been waiting for. Christine O'Reilly moving down the right as Niamh Keenahan in front of her. Good touch there by Maeve Linehan for Armagh. Just enough to take the bite out of the attack, but Cavan are not done yet. And Niamh Keenahan will try and have another go. A hook there from the Armagh number 2. Great defending from Armagh. We've been applauding the Cavan defending in the early stages. stages. Well, Armagh showing exactly they can do it too, and not making it easy for Cavan as Josephine Maguire goes to ground there as well, in to help out as Tierna Maguire for Armagh, but it's the Cavan number 8 that has the ball again. The steps going against Cavan. Josephine Maguire not happy with that decision, free out for Armagh.
She'd be right not to be happy now. I thought it was a high hurl before she took the extra 4th, 5th, maybe 6th. She did the overcarry, but you know, very hard to put a ball in the hurl when it's wrapped up around your head.
And Cavan just looking for that opening score to get themselves settled into the contest. They started off this campaign beating Tipperary 2-9 to 1-11 before adding a 15 points to 1-7 win against Waterford. 4-7 to 1-6 to beat Mayo in round 3. That booked their place in the semi-finals, squeezed out by a clear comeback in the last group game. 8 points to 7 had them runners up of Group 2. Jennifer Curry gives the ball across to Michelle McCardle, and Michelle McCardle with a crossfield ball. You can see the Armagh game plan, but that ball, that intended target was never going to get there. That Emer Smith. Unforced error from Armagh, and Cavan will restart the action the far side of the field with a line ball, and it will be taken by Anya Finnegan. So Anya Finnegan just looking around to see what the options are. Maybe she might pick out Suzanne Cusick, wearing number 7. She hits one in towards the centre area, hoping to find Josephine Maguire. Cavan inside their own 45-metre line, needing to just settle into the game, and good pass down the direction of Niamh Keenahan doesn't materialise. Armagh again showing a bit of footwork in the county, and the ball breaks for Jennifer Curry, gives the pass off again, knows exactly what to do with the ball. Gemma McCann with the shot, but not the shot, dropping down towards the inside line, and Erin Galligan, the captain of Cavan when they won the Nancy Murray Cup in 2020, clears it out, but as far as the number 5, Gemma McCann, and she'll get inside the 65 as 2 Cavan players around her, trying to maybe get the free, but good disciplined work from Cavan there. Christina O'Reilly involved in that as well, and Cavan have won the ball, bringing it out the field as a player in space, and that player in space is number 21, Clodagh Keenahan, but we're going to go back for the original foul, free out for Cavan.
Yeah, great work there, like especially from Erin Galligan. She can read the game unbelievable, you know, and she's a great ball into space. And then the work rate, you know what I mean, like Rosie Crow there as well, like it's all about that work rate.
Emer Brady is going to take this free for Cavan and sending it down in towards the attack. Is this the opportunity for them to get off the mark in this game, as well as an opportunity? Space opens up here now, but again, look at the Cavan or the Armagh defending, I should say. 5 players there blocking out the space, and there's a free one out to the right, and that's Tierna Maguire, and she'll send it down the left flank again, and all of a sudden play moves the other way. Important battle here as Rachel Merry turns the Cavan defender, has the ball, getting inside the 45-metre line, turns on the right hand side, crossfield pass in the direction of Emer Smith, and she takes it the first time. Cavan have to be very careful. Ciara Donnelly is lurking, so is Jennifer Curry, and Ciara Donnelly turns the Cavan defender, has the ball, might give it back to Emer Smith. Emer Smith wearing number 13, going for a shot at the post. The umpire says no, and again Armagh not taking these chances. 10 minutes gone, 5 wides to 0, 2 points to 0.
Yeah, I know, but they had a little bit of experience there in the full forward line as well, like playing the ball around, taking the right opportunity for the shot. Unlucky for not getting the score, but that's great work by Armagh at the start of the game.
Just looking at Armagh's patch of this semi-final, they beat Limerick the opening day 6-21 to 6 points. Then it was 2-25 to 7 points against Down, and 4-26 to 1-5 against Roscommon. They did get a test. I saw it myself in Dunloy the last day when they beat Antrim 118 to 116. Ciara Donnelly with a wonderful goal on that occasion. Armagh have possession again through Emer O'Kane, and Emer O'Kane goes past the 65, but the steps is going to be, like every referee has their thing, and he's been consistent with the application of it so far. Brian Kearney, it's going to be a free for Cavan.
Yeah, just hope he keeps to it, like, you know what I mean, like it's not worse than letting in a few, you know, extra steps after blowing a few early. You know, once he's keeping consistent, that's all you want.
And that's exactly what we'll be hoping for over the course of the contest, as Cavan have a free here outside the 65-metre line. So looks like it's Clodagh Keenahan that's going to take that free and sends the ball across, but it's going to carry, and it might just stay in play, in good hands on that occasion to keep the ball in play. What can Cavan do with it? Anya Corcoran, the player that stopped the ball going wide, but again it's won by Armagh, it's won by Nicola Woods, and she'll get out towards the 45-metre line. Good touch there by Aideen Coyle. She'll go for a shot at the post. Is this Cavan getting off the mark? Not to be. It is a first in the game for them, a first wide, but again Anya Corcoran keeping the ball in play. Cavan having to work hard to get anything out of this Armagh defence.
Yeah, she's like very good there, like, you know, like not giving up on any lost causes, like it's brilliant.
It's a low-scoring game in the early stages, but both teams really settling into the contest. The ball bounces right in front of us here again and spills out over the line, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Cavan. Aideen Coyle just managing to put off Sinead Quinn's attempt to keep that in play, and Hannah Simons to restart the action between her own 45 and 65-metre line. right in front of her own dugout as well. Didn't get the connection in that she wanted. It might stay in play. It'll do well to stay in play. Niamh Keenan has kept it in play. The linesman happy enough to continue play on. And Cavan now moving the ball in towards inside. And this is the opportunity for Anya Corcoran. The space is opened up and the steps decision again going against Cavan. And you can hear the few groans from the Cavan supporters here. They weren't happy with that, Jimmy.
No, definitely not. And trust me, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, there was borderline that time now, you know what I mean, like, and it was clear goal scoring opportunity, like, you know what I mean. It says that's where you want to get the consistency in, like.
Cavan will still try and get off the mark, but Armagh will focus on the task at hand. Kiri Devlin restarting the action. She is a winner of the Armagh Puck Fada back in May, and she's well able to get the ball down the field when need be. The referee blows the whistle between the two 65-metre lines. We're going to have a throw-in ball as the clock says 13 minutes gone in this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final. Armagh 2 points, Cavan no score. Emer Brady does well, leaves the ball for Josephine Maguire, and Josephine Maguire will send a diagonal ball inside the 45-metre line, hoping out that this can yield an open opportunity for Niamh Keenan perhaps, and Niamh Keenan on the move there, but not be made easy by Maeve Lenihan, and that's the ball dropping down. Armagh needs to be careful on this occasion, and it was a couple of goals needed. It eventually goes out wide, but just for a moment there, the Armagh defence hesitated.
Yes, you can see there that might be a little weakness in their game, is that high ball into the square, you know, like, but it was like, again, but they did full back there, cleared up very well.
Cavan are asking questions on this right flank at the early stages. Armagh have had the answers so far, but of course there's only so many times you can deal with that. That being said, the other end, Armagh should be further in front of this game. Sinead Quinn not able to keep the ball in play. Good defending by Rosie Crowe-McKeever. Looks like she might take this sideline cut herself in, well, just outside the 65-metre line is where it's going to be taken from the far side of the field. And just having a look around for an option, sent it low but didn't get the connection in that she wanted it. Didn't see the Cavan player she was looking for either. Armagh will take that break and they're going to restart the action as well, and it looks like it'll be their midfielder, who is Leanne Donnelly, that will restart the action the far side of the field as the play just gets a bit stop-start for a couple of moments here. But Armagh off they go again and down inside the 65-metre line, and it's controlled there again by Rosie Crowe-McKeever with the ball, gets towards the 45-metre line, going on the move, space opens up for her, long ball down in towards, well, Anya Corcoran thought it was going to carry for her, but the target was Shanice Fitzsimons. Armagh going to keep very, very tight on her, and I think many teams over the course of the championship have been doing that so far based on the achievements that she had in the league, including scoring the winning goal in the Littlewoods Division 3 final against Wexford. Again, it's another sideline cut. It's the far side of the field. It's going to be a Cavan ball, as you can see on screen, and it's going to be taken by Hannah Fitzsimons, and Hannah Fitzsimons gets good distance on that, and this might work out for Niamh Keenan. Niamh Keenan again up against Maeve Lennon, gives the pass off. Good movement here from Cavan, but the application didn't work out in the direction of Christina O'Reilly. Armagh with the ball, and now can they counter attack here? And down right in front of us, trying to get control of the ball, is Emer Smith, who's come this side of the field, turns on her right hand side. Again, Cavan closing out the central channel. They know the danger of the letting Armagh forward go through that direction. Good control of the ball here from Sinead Quinn. Gives the pass off to the number 5, Gemma McCann, and Gemma McCann with a long ball down for Jennifer Curry, who's moved in towards the inside line. She's been followed by Aideen Coyle, but Jennifer sends it in, and this is good play from Armagh. Ellie McKee tried to pull the trigger, blocked down on that occasion, and Cavan deal with the danger. Not gone too far just yet, but they do have control of the ball inside the 45-metre line. A bit of end-to-end. Now can Shanice Fitzsimons or Anya Corcoran do anything with this? Anya Corcoran with the ball, tries to get it back to Shanice, and Armagh every time just getting a stick out there. Nicola Woods doing well, but Shanice Fitzsimons has the ball on the 20-metre line, and again the Armagh defence won't give her the space to get away. Great defending from Armagh. Emer O'Kane with the ball, gets it out the field, and it's just a bit of tennis here at the moment as Aideen Coyle has the ball, finds a teammate. Cavan will move it out towards the right outside the 45-metre line. Great battles here. This is Clodagh Keenan. Clodagh Keenan down towards the corner looking for Christina O'Reilly. Christina O'Reilly waiting there for the arrival of Emer Hayes, but she's been allowed to move the ball in towards Hannah Fitzsimons, and Hannah Fitzsimons trying to find a way through, and again Armagh will not let Cavan pass. Cavan being pushed out. They need to go for a shot from distance. Shanice Fitzsimons obliges, and finally it's taken 17 minutes. Cavan had to work hard for that. They get off the mark. Shanice Fitzsimons with the score.
Oh yeah, definitely, and like the big difference in that play and the other play is Tina O'Reilly had a bit of composure there in the corner, and she didn't waste the ball. She gave the runner off the shoulder, and then played it into Hannah, and Hannah then into the sister Shanice, and Shanice is in that area of the field. It's going to be a score.
Is that the score to settle Cavan into this game? 2 points to 1. The steps going against Clodagh Keenahan, and it's going to be an Armagh free right in front of us between the two, 65-metre line. They will look down to respond to that and get another point themselves. Tierna McGuire going to lead this off for Leanne Donnelly. Leanne Donnelly will take the long-range frees. Her sister Ciara will take the ones closer to the goal. And Leanne Donnelly has been playing hurling as a child, even took the hurls to Spain on family holidays back in the day, and honed her skills growing up. Cavan win the ball back. Good work there on that occasion by Erin Gallagher has come out the field. This is Christina O'Reilly sending the ball in towards the attackers. Cavan now try and get back on level terms, and they'll take this based on how the opening best part of 20 minutes of this game has gone. Shanice Fitzsimons with the red and white helmet, trying to get them in a space again, trying to pull the trigger, but the Armagh, you can see 3 defenders around her every time, and it's Emer Hayes that wins the ball, sends it out towards the right. Gemma McCann will chase down this ball, and Armagh have a bit of space in front as they send it down the right flank. And now what can Rachel Merry do here? She's playing top of the right now, and teasing ball in for Emer Smith there. Emer Smith being marked by Anya Finnegan, doesn't win the ball. Aileen Cole was there. Rosie Crowe McKeever, who actually scored 2 goals for Cavan in that 2020 All-Ireland final, but has come back more as a centre back. She's played midfield as well over the course of this year, but since Philip Brady came in, has been playing as a centre back as well, with Erin Gallagher often a full back. 2 very, very important players for this Cavan story they've been on the last few years.
Huge. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I took over Cavan, one of my main goals was to make sure that Rosie was coming in at the panel, with her experience and everything. You can see here she's still at it, and the experience won her that free there was excellent.
If Cavan are going to make Croke Park, they'll depend on Rosie Crowe McKeever and Erin Gallagher, but Armagh have plenty of leaders as well. They are warming up a player, Armagh. Ciara Hill, number 21, could be entering the field to play shortly. Certainly not happy that they have not taken more of an advantage of the ball that they've had in this game. Leanne Donnelly to Jennifer Curry, but a foul for a chop down originally against Rosie Crowe McKeever is going to give Ciara Donnelly another opportunity to get off the mark. It's not often you say 20 minutes gone in a camogie match and Ciara Donnelly hasn't scored, but she'll test this. The breeze seems to have shifted a little bit over the course of the game. It was blowing to our right towards the town goal, but while it's still only in trickles, it seems to have turned to the left based on the flanks that we're seeing here in Tullamore. So this will be advantage Armagh for the next 10 minutes, mild as it is, but it will be advantage to the Orchard County and also the Ulster champions. Ciara Donnelly with the free, and that's gone to the left and wide as well. And Jimmy, even taking that point into account, like it's 2 points to 1, 20 minutes here. There's no doubt Armagh being the better team, but it's Cavan will be the happier at the moment, you'd feel.
Oh, by far, especially, like, you know, I say you have to go back a long time in a game to see Ciara Donnelly miss 2 frees. Like, you know, even though that was a longer distance, but still, like, you know, like, Cavan keep working, keep the work rate up.
This is a great opportunity from Ellie McKee, can she? And that just goes to the left and wide as well, but decided to have the snapshot there. But we are going to have that substitution for Armagh. So Jim McKernan not wasting any time making his first change in this game. Ciara Hill, number 21, is the player coming on the 21st minute, and she is going to be coming on for Emer Smith. Emer Smith involved in a bit of the play there as well, but not finding the target so far. So first change of the game. It means business when the manager makes that here this early.
Definitely, you know what I mean? Like, and you can't, like, it's an All-Ireland semi-final at the end of the day, you know, like, Ciara Hill, very experienced player, very fast player. Her knee is heavily strapped, so she's probably carrying a knock. But you need your best players on the field to win an All-Ireland semi-final. They'll
be right behind her in Grain Morris. She sends out a teasing ball in the direction of Ciara Donnelly, gets away from all the players involved. Ciara Donnelly, will she win the race against Namanda Majola? The referee says a foul was committed. It looked at 50-50, but the advantage goes with the attacker. And Armagh will get another opportunity for Ciara Donnelly to get off the mark. And for herself, Jimmy, you'd be hoping third time's a charm.
Yes, definitely. This will be, you know, just set her down into the game. Little bit harsh as well. I thought she got the ball clean as the two of them went for it, but you know what I mean, like, we're obviously a good bit away. There could have been a hand on her back, we just don't know.
Looks like we're going to have the first yellow card of the game as well for Namanda Majola for that challenge on Ciara Donnelly. So it's taken 22 minutes, the first yellow card in this game. Ciara Donnelly to the right of the D, outside the 20-metre line. She would be expected, we've said this already in the commentary, so we won't get carried away, but she would be expected to put this over the bar. And if she does, Armagh will restore the 2-point advantage that they had before Cavan got off the mark. 22 minutes and 10 seconds. Ciara Donnelly with the free, puts the ball over the bar. It's Armagh 3 points, Cavan 1. So Jenny O'Rourke will get ready to restart the action. Taking her time. No rush with this at the moment. She looks around for options. You can see them all bunching in the middle of the field, and Jenny O'Rourke will just drive it down the middle of the field. See where it breaks out there. Might break for Christina O'Reilly, but Emer Hayes is set to win the race for that. Had a slip for the moment, but got back on her feet. Batted down by Cavan, but only finding an Orchard jersey. And it plays now in the middle of the park again, outside the 65-metre line. Sinead Quinn was there, but leaves it off for Leanne Donnelly to go on the run. Leanne Donnelly will able to score, but good defending by Suzanne Cusack on that occasion. Enough to hold the ball. Hannah Simons sends it up the field to play, but again it's Armagh half back line. Very difficult to bypass, and the full backer equally as tough if it gets down there that far. But Cavan doing similar stuff themselves. As they win back possession, that ball is going to go out over the line, and it's going to be an Armagh ball outside their own 20-metre line. It's a contest, Jimmy. I think it's fair to say, well, both teams have had great chances, and we've talked about one or two breaks not going their way at certain times as well, but it hasn't really sparked to full life yet.
No, definitely not. But a lot of nerves, you know what I mean? You can see it out there. There's girls there that normally wouldn't miss a ball, or it's bouncing around them, but they'll settle into it. I know it's near half now, about 23 minutes, nearly 24 minutes gone. You know what I mean? Hopefully it'll be a better second half.
Oh, I don't think I have any doubt about that. It'll definitely get going in the second half. Shanice Fitzsimons with the shot for Cavan. That's not going to end up on target. Third wide of the game for Cavan. There's been 7 wides for Armagh, so the scoring ratio for both teams well below 50%. But as Jimmy just said there, there is nerves in the early stages of the game. It is an All-Ireland semi-final. Nobody will care if they win this game by 4 points to 3 once the job is done. Leanne Donnelly with a ball down the direction of Rachel Merry. Good defending there from the Monda Majola to put off the corner forward, but the danger has not been averted yet as Erin Galligan and Ciara Donnelly go to war again. And Ciara Donnelly thought she had a break at the ball but couldn't control the slitter. Goes out over the line, and it's going to be a Cavan ball as well. It looks like this Hannah Fitzsimons will be the player that will go to take this inside her own 45-metre line. Having a look at the Cavan defence, young supporters there enjoying the day out as well. 2 big games at Camogie here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel, brought to you in association today with Rua TV. We'll be live at 3:30 for the second game between Antrim and Clare. We'll also keep an eye on what's happening in Croke Park for those of you interested in that as well, when Cork and Waterford are playing at the same time. But our focus solely in the first of 6 Glen Dimplex All-Ireland semi-finals that you can see this weekend either live here on the streaming service or on RTE Sport Television, and 4 of them taking place today as Armagh take the line ball, but Emer Brady back to cover that, gives the pass off for Hannah Fitzsimons, and she'll send the ball towards the attack. Cavan and 14 players behind in their own half of the field at one stage is trying to stop the Armagh attack, but Emer Hayes has been happy enough to take the space, found Gemma McCann very well there, it has to be said, dropping ball down in towards the defence. Erin Galligan getting a touch there, but Cavan need to be careful as Ciara Donnelly tried to bring the ball, but it's Namonde Majola that wins the ball, wins the free in the process. Despite her yellow card, she's working very, very hard for Cavan.
Very hard. You can see there on both sides, the 2 dangers, Shanice and Ciara Donnelly. The minute either of them are anywhere in the vicinity of the ball, there's a swarm of the opposition around them, and that's the way to stop them. And they're Namonde, super win, super free.
We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first half of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final. Armagh 3 points, Cavan 1. Great battles going on throughout the field, even if the scoring is very, very poor. You have to see in the early stages, the referee has blown the whistle as Emer Brady goes to ground, and I don't think he's indicated a free, but of course concerned about a possible head injury. So we will have a break in play, and Emer Brady, who's which got a study PE biology in DCU as well. Very vital this Cavan cause. She started at number 15, but has come back around the middle, the defensive third of the field as well, to help the Cavan defence deal with these Armagh attacks.
Yeah, definitely. She's one of the girls that has all the work rate in her, around the field. And it is she's some strike of a ball too, it's I just feel there at the minute, Cavan, some of the big players aren't really stepping up yet, like Niamh Keenan and Claudia Keenan. You know what I mean? These girls need to take the game by the scruff of the neck themselves. You know what I mean? They're big and bold enough now to be able to stand up and take it and just go at it now, you know.
And you can see similar enough with Armagh as well. There's a lot of big players just haven't really gone into this so far. They dominated the opening 10 minutes, but since then they haven't had the same control, even if they've probably been marginally ahead.
Yeah, definitely, but I would say definitely on the Armagh side of it, I don't think they're being let as much. You know, the Cavan backs, you know what I mean, like they're being absolutely phenomenal.
Cody Keenan takes the free there for Cavan, but that doesn't go on target as well. And the wides continue racking up here in Tullamore as we've 3 minutes to go to half time. 4 for Cavan, 7 for Armagh is our count here as Kiri Devlin restarts the action down the far side of the field now. Who is the bite in the last couple of moments? Great work there by Suzanne Cusick to get control of the ball, but again it's Armagh that deal with the task, and it's Ellie McKee that sends it down the right for them, hoping to find Sinead Quinn, but Rosie Crowe McKeever there as well. However, the Armagh number 11 refuses to give up and gains a few more yards, looking for support from Rachel Mary, but Cavan have the numbers as well. Inside the 45-metre line, the pass out for Hannah Fitzsimons, and Hannah Fitzsimons down in the direction of Shanice there, with her sister acting the process. Anya Corcoran is an Armagh player gone to ground. Play continues on, and this is the opportunity now that maybe Cavan have been waiting for. Shanice Fitzsimons hasn't scored a goal yet, has now puts the ball into the back of the net. Armagh won't be happy with that as the player went on the ground, but Shanice Fitzsimons, we said she hadn't scored a goal in the 2022 championship so far. There was no stopping that shot, Jimmy.
No, definitely not. Like, you know what I mean, there when she won the ball out about 30 metres, she turned, you know what I mean, there was no way of her passing the ball, there was no way of her going for a point. That was green flag all day long. You know, and such a strike. You know, like there's nothing to keep her. The keeper was just gone by her in a flash.
She's got Trower there and got the space going. Unfortunately for Armagh, a player went down in the process there as well, so we're just going to have a hold up and play. She's sitting up, thankfully. There was a substitute getting warmed up just in case. So of course our concern there first, you can see the supporters there, and is that the score that's going to really spark this match into life? I think the Armagh player will be okay because number 19 Ellen Lavery is putting back on her bib, so no indication she'll be coming on in the next couple of moments. But as we look at the clock, we're inside the final minutes of normal time in the first half. I'd imagine we'll probably have about 3 minutes or so at least to play. Like, it's a big score for Cavan, it has to be said, but Armagh, like when Jimmy Kernan gets them in and looks at the return now, the breeze has gone back, it looks like he'll favour them in the second half, but it's swirling so much you can't take it into account. But he'll have strong words to say to his team.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just all about composure now at this stage, like, you know what I mean, like when they get them back in, and you know, I just hope this isn't a serious injury. She looked like she twisted bad enough there, like when she went to turn to catch Shanice. But like Armagh, like, they just need to settle down, and you know what I mean, like, but credit has to go to Cavan. Like, Cavan are working harder in the defence, and they're getting a lot of work done.
They have the breaks as well there, some of the poor Armagh shooting of the process, but then again Cavan have missed a few opportunities behind as well, and they've taken a 1 point advantage, which would be a massive lift for them. I'm just wondering, was it Emer Kane, the player that was down, but thankfully she's on her feet. Anyway, we're just having a look. She is putting the helmet back on, so thankfully she's good to continue. The 30 minutes have been played. We're keeping an eye. The fourth official has said 3 minutes to be played, so we have 3 more minutes of camogie in this first half, and it's Cavan in front by a point. Cavan 1-1, Armagh 3 points, and you just feel for Armagh at the moment. The next score is vital to get back in level terms here before half time anyway. Often the point that follows the goal is equally as important. Aideen Coyle though doesn't feel that generous as she sends the ball down the right, hoping that Anya Corcoran can keep that in play. And a big gust of wind there nearly knocked our monitor down in the press area here in front of us, but thankfully the technology is working okay so far, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Armagh inside their own 20-metre line as the clock continues ticking away. Nearly 1 minute has been played off the tree, and Leanne Donnelly to restart the action in a big open space here in Tullamore, and nobody getting into it so far, you have to say. Hannah controls the ball on the ground, breaks out nicely for Shanice Fitzsimons. She has a smell of goal here so far, has also got a point in the game and puts the ball over the bar. Shanice Fitzsimons is really coming to life in this All-Ireland semi-final. 1, 2 to 3 points.
Definitely, yeah, and since she came out the field, you know what I mean, I don't think Armagh know how to deal with her out there. I'd say they had a plan for her on the inside, but like since they swapped Anya in and brought Shanice out, she's causing havoc out there.
It's 1-2 to Cavan, 3 points to Armagh. 2 minutes to go to half time, and everything now is starting to go Cavan's way. There's a sideline cut right in front of us, and this is what the moment now for Cavan know they can really put the boot down here and try and build up an advantage before the break as Niamh Keenan gets ready to restart the action right in front of us here in the commentary box. You can see the Cavan manager there, Philip Brady, Gunnar they call him, giving the instructions as well. pass down for Christina O'Reilly. Christina O'Reilly outside the 65-metre line, given the advantage. Cavan will try and weave the way through. Emer Brady will come back for the advantage, or as the referee spotted a second foul and bringing us in a bit closer. Right away, Cavan had the free hit, the hand out in the 65-metre line. He wasn't happy when he saw a bit further in, so it's going to be another opportunity for Cavan to add another score to this game. And now, what can Chloe Keenan do with this as we look at the clock? 32 minutes, has her own style there, taking the freeze, but once it works for you, she came into this game with 21 points in the championship, hasn't scored in this match so far. All Cavan scores have come from Shanice Fitzsimons. Is this Chloe Keenan's 22nd score in the championship? Jimmy Greville nods at me and smiles because it is. It goes over the bar, 1-3 to 3 points.
Very good, like, you know what I mean, like the most unorthodox way to take a free, but she misses very, very little, like, you know what I mean, and like, that was a super score, so it was
no different than Ciara Donnelly as well, just getting a score to get ourselves settled into the game. The two free takers could have a big second half, but Armagh needs to do something before the break. You can see the clock there, probably time for one more attack, and who would have thought this 10 minutes ago, that Cavan would be looking to go 4 in front. They lead by 3, collision between the two players, no questions about that. It's going to be a free out for Emer Hayes, the Armagh centre-back, who's worked very, very hard for her team in this match so far, between the 45 and the 65-metre line, takes the free herself. Armagh needs something before the break, you would feel, but again, all these little things are just going against Armagh at the moment. They just can't find their players, and that ball getting away from Jennifer Curry, and Cavan to restart the action. The referee looking at his book there, making a note of something, but we're going to continue playing on, and Cavan will change the person to restart the action. The 3 minutes have been played in the first half. The referee blows the half-time whistle, and what a turnaround in the closing stages. 1-2 in the final 5 minutes for Cavan, giving them a 3-point advantage at half-time. Jimmy Greville, your overall charts in the opening 30 minutes?
it was hard to know, like, you know, like, because of nerves. Like, in the first 20 minutes there was nerves all over the field, like, you know what I mean. But like, it's settled into it. Like the girls are working well, both sides. Like, the defence I'd say are on top, you know what I mean. Like, but let's call it a spade a spade. 7 wides, is it, for Armagh?
7 for Armagh, yeah.
Like 7 for Armagh, like, you know what I mean. Like, you can't be shooting 7 wides in a half in an All-Ireland semi-final, like, you know what I mean. But the pressure was put on them by Cavan, and then when, you know, Cavan got up there, it took them a while to get going. 17 minutes on the board before they got a score, but then, you know what I mean, they're going in the top. Like, it's all about keep going, and don't give up, and they're getting the rewards for it now.
Cavan kept going to half-time. What will Armagh do in the second half? We're going to take a break for the next 10 minutes or so, but when we come back, we'll have live coverage of the second half of this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final. It's Cavan in front by 3 points at half-time. Shanice Fitzsimon's goal, the difference between the teams. The half-time score here in Tullamore. Cavan 1-3, Armagh 3 points. Welcome back here to O'Connor Park in Tullamore for the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final. I'm Darren Kelly, joined here in the commentary box by Jimmy Greville. At half-time, you can see them back in the field. Cavan with a late flourish, having a 3-point advantage. It's Cavan 1-3, Armagh 3 points. And Jimmy, we don't see Armagh yet, but we see Cavan. What will Philip Brady been saying to them at half-time? Because the momentum was certainly with them before the break.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we were just saying there at the break there. You know, half-time probably came a little bit too soon for Cavan because they were just getting into their swing of things. But like just a little bit more the last 10 minutes, you know what I mean? If they can do 30 minutes of that, you know what I mean? Like they'd be thereabouts, like, you know what I mean? There's Armagh just need to have to come out and just work, you know what I mean? Like that's what I just feel that is wrong with Armagh. In times they were working very hard in the middle third, but they've been turned over very easy, you know. So, but you know what I mean? As you say, as I said twice already, it's the All-Ireland semi-final. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and just as we see Armagh coming out there, they did start off the game well. This is worth making a count on the scoreboard too, and if they can get that form of control in the opening 10 minutes, the few points are very, very important. They'll be right back in this contest.
Oh, definitely, yeah, like 7 wides, like, you know what I mean? So most of them come in the first 10 minutes as well, like, you know, and 2 missed frees, you know, strangely enough from Ciara as well. But they'll settle into it now. You see a quick change here, you see Ciara's gone out to out straight away, out to centre forward, like, you know what I mean? So like it's probably just upset what Cavan's plan had for her, but looking forward to the second half now.
Yeah, you see Jennifer Curry going into full forward as well, and we certainly know how lethal she can be in her days representing Cork, 4 All-Irelands, 8 All-Stars. The ball is thrown in for the start of the second half. Armagh attacking the goal to the right, 5 seconds into the game as well, and Michelle McCardle with a touch along the ground, and Armagh now in possession through Leanne Donnelly. Leanne Donnelly in the 45-metre line. They'll have been told, as Jimmy said, to come out and get going from the very, very start, try and close this gap, but Cavan's defending, getting in the way, no, just like the half-backs for Armagh, the Cavan defenders as well, equally getting in the way. The referee has blown the whistle. There's a couple of Armagh players on the ground, so I'm not exactly too sure what decision was made, but he's checking on one of the Armagh players there, Jimmy.
Yeah, like I think it was just she went into the hook 18 that time. I think she went in a little bit too close and got the arm, but it was you know, like, I don't think there was anything in it. I say it's an indirect free or a throw in, I'd imagine. I think
it was just a bit of concern for the player as well, so just holding up play. I didn't quite see the indications, so I'd imagine we will have a throw in ball, so it's just a start there, but you can even see already Leanne Donnelly going attacking that to defence as well. But again, Cavan dealing with it. But that's the questions, like we said in the first half about Cavan asking questions, especially in the second quarter. I might have to ask those questions again.
Yeah, definitely, you know what I mean? Like it is, you know, once they run at them and, you know, the Cavan player commits, like, you know what I mean, they have to be clever what to do with the ball after that. But, like, you know, it's the early stages now of the second half, and just hope this player is all right. I'd say it just looks like the shoulder. Yeah, he wants not the head because the concussion as well.
Yeah, we'll see in a second. I know that Leanne Donnelly was the first player, but she's back on her feet and she is good to continue. I'm just trying to work out, was it Ciara Hill on that occasion, but we'll see. No, it wasn't. It was Sinead Quinn. Sinead Quinn, the player that was on the ground. Armagh on the move again through Leanne Donnelly, pushing up the field, but Anya Finnegan gets in the way for Cavan, sends it out the field. It'll be a bit of tennis as well, as Ciara Donnelly, as Jimmy mentioned, out on the 40, trying to weave her way in, but Cavan were never going to give the space there, and Clodagh Keenan clears the ball for them, down for their sister Niamh. Niamh and the ball now outside the 45-metre line. The space opens up here for Cavan. This will be a massive score if it goes over the bar for them, but not to be on this occasion. The ball goes to the right and wide. First wide of the second half, 5th wide in total, but just like that, Cavan turned it down and went into attack.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's huge pressure there, and then they were clever with the ball as well, and they got to scoreable opportunity as well, which is very good.
Who'll get the first score of the second half? Nearly 2.5 minutes have been played at the moment. Cavan 1-3, Armagh 3 points. The first of a double header here in O'Connor Park in Tullamore today in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship. The second semi-final between Antrim and Clare throws in a 3:30. We'll have every puck of the ball for that game as well, but we won't be going anywhere from this. And as we mentioned at the start, there will be extra time. There has to be a result on the day, and even though Cavan are enjoying a 3-point advantage at the moment, I would not rule out an extra 20 minutes and even more between these two teams. Armagh to restart the action right in front of us through Ellie McKee. Ellie McKee trying to find a teammate there, but the ball just bouncing around. Hannah Simons, the number 9 for Cavan, in the middle of all that, but on the ground goes Ciara Hill. Ciara Hill loses possession. Michelle McCardle there fighting for the ball as well, but look at that, Cavan back in, wins possession as well, but Armagh closing out the space. Emer Brady won it for Cavan, but Armagh showing what you can do, we can do as well, Armagh ball.
Definitely, that's huge pressure. Like now, Like, in the first time in the game, it feels like an All-Ireland semi-final. Like, there's huge intensity from both sides. It's brilliant stuff.
I just seen one of the Clare managers in front of us there as well. Must have heard of us plugging the second game. They'll be keeping an eye because the winners from the 2 games today will meet in Croke Park in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie final on Sunday, August the 7th. That's 15 days from now, tomorrow fortnight. But who will be the winner of this game? Leanne Donnelly takes the pass from Gemma McCann, sending it in towards the attack, hoping to get Jennifer Curry. Might find Rachel Merry. There's players queuing up. Sinead Quinn is there as well. And again, Cavan need to get the bodies back. Armagh have plenty of bodies pushed forward, but nobody seems to be able to get their hands on the ball outside the 20-metre line. Ciara Donnelly shows good hands there to win possession. Goes to ground looking for the free. The Cavan defence hold firm. The referee says, is he going to throw the ball in? He certainly didn't indicate a foul anyway. Or is it concern for Ciara Donnelly who went to ground that time?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, she's been hard. He's been hard now. Let's be honest about it. There was definitely a free there. She got the hurl into her side, but you have to keep going to the whistle. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just one of them calls that it just didn't go her way. Yeah,
it looks like it's going to be a 20-metre throw, and Ciara Donnelly, the Armagh Sportswoman of the Year in 2020. She wasn't just the first pick in Camogie in the country, she was the first pick among all their sports stars in the county of Antrim in 2020 as well, and continues driving on. Indeed, she was a key force for them last year, making it to both the league and All-Ireland finals. Just couldn't get past Wexford on that occasion. Can they get back to Croke Park? They have a lot of work to do here first if that's going to happen, and they'll find a way of getting the ball off Namanda Majola, who was there for Cavan, but they've managed to win possession as Rachel Merry holds onto the ball, tries to give a teammate. The referee says it was a throw ball, so it's going to be a free out for Cavan. And Cavan again, Jimmy, I know you'll be picking a player of the match in a while. There's a lot of defensive performances on both teams here that have really been impressive.
Definitely, yeah. You know, like it's that hunger, like that work rate is, you know what I mean? Like that is, you know what I mean? That's what gets you across the line in big days like this. And at the minute, there you can see Cavan have it there, like, and they always had, you know what I mean? Like, one of their biggest traits was their work rate. You know what I mean? They would work.
I'm not too sure what happened there. Jenny O'Rourke was like,
the wrong hurl.
The wrong hurl for the free.
So the new rule again, you can't use your goalie hurl to take a free.
So we're going to restart the action. Everything technical here today, but we're enjoying the action here in Tullamore. Christine O'Reilly with the ball for Cavan outside the 65-metre line. The pass down towards the attack towards Niamh Keenan, and Niamh Keenan on the left up against Emer O'Kane. Niamh Keenan doing well to control the ball, looking for a teammate to pass it off. Christine O'Reilly was running to the space, but she got herself caught in the trap. Good defending from Emer O'Kane, forcing the foul. Free out for Armagh inside their 45-metre line. Michelle McCardle, the player that will restart the action, and sending it down towards the right. Namanda Majola wins the ball for Cavan outside the 65-metre line, gives the pass off. They just can't control the ball. However, the linesperson, the near side of the field, who is Rebecca Barker from Tyrone, says it went off an Armagh stick, so it's going to be a Cavan ball. We're going to have a hold up and play as Josephine Maguire receives some attention.
Yeah, she's got a slap there and just on the side of the head there. That was all accidental. The Armagh player went to grab the ball and just, I think her forearm hit her on the side of the head, which would be a nice stinging one in the ear, so it will.
Josephine Maguire, Quality Assurance Manager. She made her debut for Cavan back in 2009 with the launch of this year's Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Camogie Championships across the board. I had the pleasure of sitting down with both herself and the Armagh joint captain, Michelle McCardle, for a chat about Camogie banter and obviously the challenges awaiting themselves. They were hoping to meet each other at some stage down the line. They didn't know if it would happen or where it would happen. They were probably hoping it would happen in Croke Park, but they're enjoying the battle up against each other today. Not directly on each other at the moment, but they've crossed paths on a few occasions. Josephine Maguire is back in the field of play. Can Cavan restart the action through Hannah Simons, but only as far as Emer Hayes, and Emer Hayes putting her body in the way to try and stop Cavan getting that possession. The referee not happy what he's seen. He's going to throw the ball in, looking for volunteers to step up. A couple of players came in there. He throws the ball off. The pace is gradually picking up. Gemma McCann with the ball, but loses possession. Emer Brady can't get it into her hands, and Ellie McKee not having much luck either. Leanne Donnelly might have more luck. She wears number 9 for Armagh. Has the ball, sends it across the field as Sinead Quinn tries to take control of the ball between the two 65-metre lines, sends the long ball in towards the attack. Armagh looking for one opportunity for Jennifer Curry. It might come for her, but the two defenders, Erin Galligan and Amanda Majola, back in the way. Erin Galligan has the ball, but trying to get it away, gives the pass back to the goalkeeper, Jenny O'Rourke. We'll get Jimmy Greville's thoughts on that in a moment, but Armagh are not finished yet. Leanne Donnelly with it, gives the pass down towards Michelle McCardle, who's pushed up the field. The referee spots Well, actually, no, he's blown the whistle because Jenny O'Rourke is on the ground, so we have a hold up and play. But I suppose, Jimmy, it's fair to say the first time that Armagh really had an opportunity to get inside the Cavan defence.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like it's very clever there, you know. Like it was great defending by Aaron and Monday again. But I just feel that at the minute the Cavan are trying to take the sting out of the attack here now. You know what I mean? I didn't see what happened to Jenny. It didn't look like there was any collision when she went to strike the ball. But this is what you would call clever game management.
Yeah. Well, the referee has had a word with the umpire now, so we're going to see exactly what happens here. As Brian Kearney went down to his umpire, and he is calling an Armagh player over as well. So something must have just happened afterwards. Jenny O'Rourke, who represented Ulster in the Galen back in 2013, is Akira Hill, the player that is receiving attention. So we'll see what decision this is going to be for the Armagh player. We've only had one yellow card in the game so far, and we have a second one now. It's one yellow card each. Akira Hill going into the book.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I was following the ball now, but you know what I mean. It's, you know, you don't
probably
want
a late challenge going in. Like, and these things,
silly, you know what I mean.
These things can happen as well.
Exactly. But at least, you know, like the officials are working well together there in that occasion, and it was spotted. You know what I mean. So it's good.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you want. We've set 8 officials here at the games and just communicating with each other, and exactly the way it was there. So we didn't, for Armagh viewers here today, we didn't see the incident, so we're not going to speculate whether that was a deserving yellow card or not. But when the officials are working together, that's what it's all about, and play will continue on here between the 20-metre and the 45-metre line. And Cavan have possession of the ball, and Rosie Cromie-Keever on the move. The high challenge on her, on the player, no advantage given, so we're going to have the free out inside the 45-metre line. 10 minutes to be played in the second half. There's been no score in the half so far. We did say earlier on that they wouldn't care if it was a low-scoring match once one of them booked their ticket to Croke Park. But who is going to seize the initiative in this game? If Cavan get a couple of points, you'll have to fancy their chances. But Armagh need a couple of scores, and they're creating opportunities. But the Cavan defence as well, getting the little touches when they need to get it, moving it down inside the 65-metre line. Niamh Keenan runs into Anya Corcoran, and it's the Armagh player that will take the ball and clear the lines. The Gemma McCann is the Armagh player, but it goes out over the line, getting away from Rachel Merry, and it's going to be a sideline cut for Namanda Majola. That looks like she will take this. She's waiting to see if anybody else wants to take this, but looks like she'll go herself anyway. The lines person there just making sure she doesn't take too many yards out of it. So is it looking like Anya Finnegan has come across to take this? She wears number 2 for Cavan, takes the ball, moves it towards the 45-metre line. Ciara Donnelly did well to keep that in play. Has a player in front, that's Rachel Merry. Rachel Merry turns inside, goes to the ground, wins the foul in the process. The push from the back against Rosie Cromie-Keever, I think, was the decision. Ciara Donnelly will just catch your breath here at the moment, but no doubt she'll relish this opportunity, Jimmy, for a score that Armagh definitely need.
Definitely, they did. With all the pressure they're having, the same in the first half. You know what I mean? They did all the pressure in the first 10-15 minutes, and they didn't convert it. They really start to need to convert this if this game's going to get out of hand for them.
It was actually Rachel Merry, the player that was on the ground. Ciara Donnelly holding the ball in her ground, and Rachel Merry played ladies football at underage, loves to go for a Chinese, might even consider going to a Chinese in Belfast if Armagh get victory in this game going home later on. We will see, but it's Ciara Donnelly that is going to take the free for Armagh. You can see the clock, it says 11 minutes and 47 seconds gone in the second half of this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie semi-final. Ciara Donnelly has only scored once in this match so far. Her team trail by 3 points. It's a score that herself and Armagh need. You would feel takes the free. Jimmy Greville nods the head because it looked good. It goes over the bar. It's a 2-point ball game. Armagh 4 points, Cavan 1-3.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely needed, that score to settle them down. That might drive them on a little bit. Cavan just need to keep their composure now, and you know, and just keep the ball through the hands, and they'll be doing well.
Jenny O'Rourke getting ready to restart the action. She's one of 8 Cavan players that have started every game in this year's championship so far. Emer Brady is pushed forward in the game, trying to pick out Anya Corcoran, well read there by Armagh, but they didn't bring the ball over. It was an important interception from Emer Hayes. However, Anya Corcoran might get another goal. Gemma McCann doing enough to put her off, and Emer Hayes will send the ball up the field towards that 65-metre line again. And again, that was the Cavan players, and Rosie Cromie-Keever and Josephine Maguire, the 2 experienced players. They're trying to get the ball, but they don't have it. And Armagh in possession possession again, trying to weave the way inside. Ciara Donnelly kicks it forward in the direction of Jennifer Curry here. Can she get control of the ball? Rachel Merry is there as well. Armagh looking for another score. Rachel Merry with the shot. This looks good from our angle, but it's going to drop short into the hands of Jenny O'Rourke. And Jenny O'Rourke, the Cavan goalkeeper, will clear the ball out the field again and averts the danger. Armagh will feel they should have done better with that. The wind is favouring Armagh. It's not that strong, but it is favouring them. Michelle McCardle will have a go, and Armagh put the ball over the bar. Michelle McCardle again with a big score, and it's needed 2 in a row for the Orchard County. 5 points to 1-3.
What a score, like, you know what I mean? Talk about composure and experience there. Didn't panic. Rachel Murray got the ball. She was great catch by Jenny, back out the field, and then just composure slotted over the bar. That's 2 in a row now. That's the first bit of momentum they're after getting. And again, very good game management.
Very good game management from our man as a Cavan player on the ground at the moment. I think it's Erin Galligan that's on the ground, and that's a player. We're seeing a substitution here for Cavan as well, so it's all happening. Namanda Majola is going off the field for Cavan. Lorraine O'Rourke is going on the field to play, so a bit of a surprising decision there, Jimmy.
Oh, that's massive. You know, like you're talking about contenders for game of the match or a player of the match. She would have been one of them, like, you know what I mean? Like, she was phenomenal there, like, after getting the yellow card, and she came out with a lot of ball, you know what I mean? Very strange call, but obviously the Cavan management, you know what I mean? They're not in an All-Ireland semi-final for nothing, like, you know, so.
And the yellow card could be a factor as well in the decision making as well.
Yeah.
Erin Galligan, a leader for Cavan as well. We mentioned about her captain in the team in the Nancy Murray Cup. She was player of the match in the league final this year. Has been on the Gaelic Life Team of the Week on multiple occasions since Cavan's re-emergence on the national scene a few years ago, and it's going to take much more than that to take her off the field. She is back on her feet. She puts the helmet back on, and she is ready to continue for the next 16 plus minutes that remain here in this game. And I say plus with even a higher or bigger font as this game goes on, because it's a 1 point ball game here in the match. 1 point between the teams. Erin Galligan getting back in position. What a battle she's having with Jennifer Curry, and Jenny O'Rourke will restart the action and drives the ball down the field between the two 65-metre lines. Indeed, it took a bounce. It goes off the Armagh player. It's going to be a Cavan ball, and Emer O'Kane did everything she could to keep that on the field of play, but it's going to be Hannah Fitzsimons to restart the action. We are officially inside the final quarter of this game here in O'Connor Park in Tullamore. Cavan leading by a point. Armagh getting 2 scores, but this might break for Shanice Fitzsimons, and the bounce has worked out here. Shanice Fitzsimons with the ball for Cavan, a shot, a goal for Cavan, a goal for Cavan, and Shanice Fitzsimons puts the ball to the back of the net. There might have been some fortune with the bounce from the sideline cup from the sister Hannah, but Shanice Fitzsimons had the space. There was only ever going to be one result, Jimmy.
Oh, one and one like that. There's going to be nothing else bar goal from Shanice. You know what I mean? So that's their first time striking the ball in the second half, and it's a very important one.
She scored 2-2 in this game. I was just talking about Cavan not having scored yet. But however, the Sinead Quinn have the response for Armagh. Gets within range, opts to go for the point. It's an important point. She might have thought about trying to create a chance to get more than that. But even to respond straight away, get the score. Smart play from Sinead Quinn.
Definitely, yeah. Like now we have an All-Ireland semi-final in our hands. Like, that's end-to-end stuff. Great stuff. I seen Roisin O'Keefe there getting ready to come in with her helmet on, and since the goal now the decision has been changed. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, and Cavan still have her to come in. They're in a great position. We
can't wait to see Roisin O'Keefe return to the Cavan team whenever it happens over the course of this game. But at the moment, as Jimmy Greville just said, we are enjoying a contest here that's starting to come to life, because Armagh have responded to the second goal. It's Cavan 2-3. It's Armagh 6 points. Sinead Quinn with the ball gives the pass off. Armagh trying to create something in a dangerous ball for Jennifer Curry if she can keep it in play. Just being closed out. Erin Galligan in the way, but Jenny will have a go. Is there a chance for Armagh? Shot, a goal! A goal for our man Jennifer Curry has put the ball to the back of the net. Jimmy Greville claps the hands. We have an All-Ireland semi-final on now. It's all square, 1-6 to 2-3.
This is great stuff. Like, this is some promotion for Camogie. You know what I mean? Like, looking out there now, you know, I was involved in a lot of intermediate Camogie games there now. This is one of the best second halves I've seen all year. Super Camogie from both sides.
I think it was Ciara Hill, the player, that sent the ball across, but either way, it's Armagh 1-6. It's Cavan 2-3. Jennifer Curry with the goal, responding 2 goals goals in the last couple of moments, and it's all to play for here. Cavan had gone 4 points clear. The lead has been wiped out just like that. Who's going to get the next score? Anya Corcoran with the ball, trying to get past Maeve Lennon, gives the pass over Hannah Fitzsimons. Hannah turns on her left hand side, goes for a shot at the post. That ball is going to tail to the left and wide. Not too many wides in the second half. Second of the half for Cavan, none for Armagh, but that moment the Cavan supporters have been waiting for. Roisin O'Keefe is back in the blue, back on the field of play. She comes on for Emer Brady.
This is unbelievable. I'm absolutely thrilled for Roisin to be back and this is where she should be playing, big stages like this, All-Ireland semi-final. And you know, like with the work she's put in for Cavan Camogie over the years, it's an absolute credit to her and her club.
All the Cavan supporters here give a big round of applause as Roisin O'Keefe came on the field, and I think I saw a few Armagh supporters do the same too. The respect that they will have for the Cavan number 11. She's on the field of play. What will she have over the remaining next 12 minutes of this game? Armagh 1-6, Cavan 2-3. Both teams 9 points in anyone's language, but it's the number 5 for Cavan. 18 Coyle with the ball, couldn't keep it in play. Armagh applied the pressure. They have a sideline cut. They'll have a substitute getting ready to come on as well. Caoimhe O'Kane is coming on for them. She is going to replace Ellie McKee. Both managements now getting their finishers on.
Yes, definitely. You know, like fresh legs now. The intensity's there in the second half. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to come down to now. Draw a game, like it's just coming down to it. Who wants the most now in the last 11-12 minutes?
Who has it now in the closing stages of the game as Jennifer Curry and Erin Galligan go to battle again. The Cavan number 3 has the ball, turns the full forward from Armagh, but didn't get it out far away, and it's won back there by Armagh as they try and create the opportunity for this shot, but that ball is going to bounce harmlessly to the left of the goal. The first wide of the second half for Armagh, 8 in total for them in this game, 6 for Cavan. Both teams are still below 50% scoring efficiency. Even as exciting as the last few minutes have gotten in this game, the ball trickles out over the line off the Armagh player in front of us here in the commentary box, and Christina O'Reilly will leave it for someone else to restart the action for Cavan. That person is Hannah Fitzsimons, and we know what happened the last time that Hannah Fitzsimons took a sideline cut right here in front of us, and that was only about 3 or 4 minutes ago when all that happened, and the game has completely changed since. She takes another ball, but not the best one she's taken. When Michelle McCarroll should have dealt with that, but Josephine McGuire has it, gives the pass out in the direction of Niamh Keenan. Great touch there from Ciara Donnelly, who's back in her own half of the field, helping out the Armagh defence. Sinead Quinn with the ball, gains a few yards. They're trying to isolate Jennifer Curry inside, and was there contact between the players? The referee says no. Play continues on. We get Jimmy's thoughts on that in a moment. Jenny O'Rourke sends the ball out the far side of the field for Niamh Keenan. Niamh Keenan going up against Emer O'Kane. You can hear the supporters in both teams are really getting into this game now as well, as Niamh Keenan and Emer O'Kane continue the battle there as the referee blows the whistle. Jimmy, your thoughts on that? Because I couldn't make up my mind.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in fairness to Aaron, like there'd be no malice in it at all. It was a collision. You know what I mean? That was a stonewall free all day long. And this is where you want to make sure the officials are on the ball, because this is All-Ireland semi-final at the end of it.
It's a big decision there. It went against Armagh on that occasion. We'll see how it continues on, because they're going to go up against each other again. Erin Galligan against Jennifer Curry. She has the turn, ups to go over the point. I think she saw the player coming in on the blind side and said, no, I won't take the risk. She puts it over the bar. The experience of the All-Ireland winner tells here Armagh are gone back in front, 1-7 to 2-3.
Yeah, that's great play. Like, and again, experience there. Like I said, she's been around the block. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, many players really kept going, but she spotted the Cavan player on the blind side and said, right, I'll take the point. Armagh are back in the lead. Only a few minutes ago, 6 minutes ago exactly, they trailed this game by 4 points. Now they lead by 1, but there's still 8.5 minutes to go here. And Armagh with their noses in front, but as Jimmy said, it's been really a great second half when it caught fire about 10 minutes into it now. And who has it in the legs for the closing stages? Hannah Fitzsimons getting ready to take this. An all-star with the Ulster Colleges in the season of 2019-2020 gets the distance on the ball. Down towards the Shanice. Shanice trying to find a way there, but being closed off by Emer O'Kane. She's number 4, Nicola Woods in front of her as well. But Cavan won't give up, and Niamh Keenan, can she get a bit of space? Can't bring the ball with her, but it might stay with a player in blue. Armagh along the ground find Leanne Donnelly. Leanne Donnelly gets away from Nadine Call. Their hands are out. The advantage being given, but Ciara Hill should be able to go herself. The advantage is gone, and long ball down gone for Rachel Merry. Rachel Merry here on the right-hand side of the field, looking to see would she take on the defender, would she take on the number 23, who's Lorraine O'Rourke. Wiggling left, wiggling right, goes back to the left, sends it inside, and it's won by Erin Galligan. And Erin Galligan sends it up towards the 45-metre line for Hannah Simons. She hasn't won the ball. Leanne Donnelly has it for Armagh, goes for a shot at the post, and it's gone over the bar. Leanne Donnelly with a big score for Armagh, puts 2 points between the teams, 182-3.
Composure now. Cavan need to get themselves settled, get their heads up and keep going. There's only 2 points in it. Get the ball into Shanice and Roisin, and I tell you, there is another goal in this game.
There certainly is another goal in this game, but will it come for Cavan or will it come for Armagh? If it comes for Armagh, you feel it'll be good enough to stamp the ticket, though we talked about Cavan only a few minutes ago. Anya Corcoran with a long ball towards the attack, cut out by Tierna Maguire. Tierna Maguire in the 45-metre line, fouled in the process, has the advantage. We're going to go back for the free on the Armagh 45-metre line. Tierna Maguire is known as the best singer on the Armagh team bus. She'll be singing all the way back to the Orchard County this evening if they finish the job off now and book their place in a third consecutive All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie final. Even their divine inspiration in the crowd, as you can see, they're cheering on Armagh as well. They'll be all saying their prayers to see can they get over the line. The free taken by Michelle McCardle down the left, looking for Jennifer Curry as well. The battle continues on, and my work for Jennifer. Erin Galligan gets in the way, but Jennifer Curry has the ball, looks for support from Sinead Quinn, and good interception there. I think it was Rosie Cromie-Keever that did enough, but Armagh are not finished yet. We're going back for the free, no advantage given. Armagh won't complain too much because they'll get a shot at the post. 6 minutes to go in the game, and Ciara Donnelly, if she puts this over the bar, it'll be a 3-point ball game, and Armagh will have something to hold on to as well. The referee is having a word. I'm just saying, Rosie Cromie-Keever is going to be having a chat with the official. It'll be a yellow card, and it'll be a second yellow card in the game for Cavan. So we're just having the hold up and play as well. So a yellow card there. It looks like Rosie Cromie-Keever. No, it's not. It's actually Josephine Maguire that gets the yellow card. My apologies on that. And it's going to be a free in for Ciara Donnelly. And Ciara Donnelly left to centre to put 3 points between the teams. Just over 5 minutes to go. Takes the free for Armagh. The umpires nod. They like it, Jimmy. It's gone over the bar. 3 between them. 192-3.
Yeah, like it's vital now. You know what I mean? Like Cavan just need to get. Cavan need the next score. You know, like it just to settle down again. You know, get back to the way they were. Keep working hard and get that goal opportunity again. Since
Cavan got their second goal, Armagh hit back with 1-4 unanswered. And that is telling the tide here of the game. But Anya Corcoran will hope to do something about that. Somebody's lost a hurl, but it's not Anya Corcoran. Sends the ball down, but the referee saying the hurl was dropped, I think. And he's going to have a word. It was dropped or flung. Either way, it's deserving of a yellow card, according to the Kildare officials. So we're going to have our fourth player in the book. Cavan are going to have a free. I'm not too sure as the free where the ball is at the moment, or coming back to the 45-metre line. But either way, Cavan will get a chance just to get a score, settle things down again. There's still plenty of time to save this game as well, but the yellow card is given to Emer Hayes, the centre back, that gets it, and this is a very, very important one now for Clodagh Keenan. Yeah, this is vital now, you know, just to keep it ticking. You know what I mean? Like, we're going into the last 4 minutes plus additional. I said there'll be another 2 or 3 on top of it as well. So like, it's, you know, the next couple of minutes are going to be vital. Cavan definitely need this score and then win the next puck out. This is an important one as well. Clodagh Keenan with the free, batted out there. Is there somebody to get on it? Or an Armagh defender to clear the ball? They're scrambling for possession. Armagh have the ball charged in, but the referee says, and Shanice Fitzsimon's not happy with it, but the referee says it's a free out for Armagh. It's always a very contentious rule when the two players collide like that in the game, but the decision goes Armagh's way. Yeah, definitely. Like Shanice was playing for it, you know what I mean? And she's right, like, you know what I mean? Like, she did charge at her. But in fairness, the person in possession of the ball has to make the effort to get around the player, and I didn't see it there either, so that was a bit harsh. So long ball down now, can Armagh punish this? Another score for Armagh. You'll feel they've 1 foot in the All-Ireland final. Rachel Merry doesn't come out for her. And with just over 3 minutes to go, that is the 9th wide of the game for Armagh. Remains 3 points between it. It gives Cavan that glimmer of hope. I think we've another minute or two before we get to the must get a goal stage of this semi-final. But Cavan need to get the ball down the other end of the field. And Armagh are just controlling what they can at the moment. Referee not happy with what he's seen. He's going to throw the ball in just outside the Cavan 65-metre line. Looking for two players to get in. It was Michelle McCardle against Niamh Keenan. The ball works its way for Armagh. This is the opportunity they're looking for as Ciara Donnelly tries to move down the right. Gets away from Rosie Crowe-McKeever, going for a shot down in the direction of Jennifer Curry. This holds up for her. Erin Gallagher did very, very well to control that and keep it away from Rachel Merry as well. And we're on the 13-metre line, but Armagh just getting sticks in there where they need to. Quiva O'Kane there as well, wearing number 17. Lorraine O'Rourke will try and clear the ball. Cavan cannot afford to be playing with the ball in front of their own goal. Eventually drives it out for Roisin O'Keefe. Roisin O'Keefe with the ball now for a significant moment. She's had a chance in this game up against Gemma McCann, but she's been isolated on her own against two Armagh players. And well, what can you say about Roisin O'Keefe? She refused to give the ball away with none of her where are her teammates, Jimmy? Because she was left on her own there.
Yeah.
And the play worked out. Michelle McCardle doing well there. It's going back for a free for Armagh, but Cavan have to be asking themselves serious questions. Why was she left on her own the whole time? Emer Fitzpatrick is about to enter the field of play for Cavan. She's replacing Christina O'Reilly 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, definitely. They're like there with Roisin, like, you know what I mean. She could have been in possession of the ball for 15-20 seconds, and there was no Cavan player coming for support. And your midfielders are sitting deep. You know what I mean. You're into the last 90 seconds of an All-Ireland semi-final. You need to be attacking, like, you know what I mean, and get the ball up the field.
The next score in this game, if it goes Armagh's way, might just be enough. And Cavan, I'm just thinking, was it 18 Coyle there to pick up a yellow card? A third Cavan player, and Jimmy nods to me, it definitely was 18 Coyle, but this is a free now for Ciara Donnelly, and if this goes over the bar, there's 4 points between them as we just over a minute of normal time remaining. Will it carry for Armagh? Will it be accurate? It's kept in play. Cavan needs to be careful. Armagh have a chance here now to wrap it up. Jennifer Curry with the ball, puts it over the bar. 1 minute of normal time remaining. What a second half. Jennifer Curry's had 1-10 to 2-3, 4 between them.
Yes, like this second half of Camogie has been absolutely excellent. You know, you have the excitement, you have the work, you know, you have some great scores, you know what I mean, and then you have the experience here now of Armagh that is just getting them over the line at the minute, you know.
The fourth official will signal shortly how much added time we're going to have, but we've just over 30 seconds of normal time remaining. Cavan need at least 2 scores. One of them has to be a goal, but Armagh, especially in the final quarter, have turned the squeeze in this match. 1-5 unanswered. They trail by 3 to 5 points. Looked like a problem there with Suzanne Cusack. She had the helmet open there, and she's going to receive some treatment there, so we just might have a hold up and play. Jimmy, we'll get you to be thinking about your player of the match contenders. We won't announce it just yet until we know how much more time we have to play in this game, because you can't rule anything out, any late twist in this game. But Armagh are not that long away from a third consecutive All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie final appearance and a second trip in a row to Croke Park. We're going to have 5 minutes of added time. So while Jimmy's thinking about his player of the match, we won't be announcing it for another 3 minutes at the very, very least, until we see what happens with the next scoring opportunity in this game. And all the advantages are now with Armagh. Ciara Hill with the ball for them. She's been very influential since coming on the field of play. Cut out by Josephine Maguire, and it's now with Emer Fitzpatrick, the number 18. We're going to go back for the free. A free out for Cavan on their own 45-metre line. And can Cavan get that third goal? Armagh's defence need to hold firm. Just looking at their position, they're still keeping the players up in attack. Armagh are backing themselves to get the job done here now, and a lot of hold up in play is the referee indicating that Armagh were wasting time, and they're saying that they were trying to find the Cavan player to give it to. Either way, we're going to have a free right in front of us here, and it's on the 65-metre line now in a way, and it's going to come back now for Clodagh Keenan. So it looks like Clodagh going to have a go at this to bring it back to a 3-point ball game. Rebecca Barker is having none of this anyway and telling her to go back a few yards as well and take it from where it's originally meant to be taken from. So this is the moment in the game now where Armagh and Cavan people throughout the country, throughout the world, are on the edge of their seats. What's going to happen with this scoring opportunity? 1.5 minutes of the 5 have been played. Long ball down in towards the attack, but the ball won't work out for Niamh Keenan. It's won back by Michelle McCardle for Armagh, and she moves it up past the 45-metre line. Hasn't brought it as far as she could, but Leanne Donnelly is there. A foul committed. It's going to be a free out for Armagh. A free out for Armagh. And it's going to be taken by Leanne Donnelly inside the 45-metre line. She'll be in absolutely no rush with this. as we'll just wait another minute or so before we get Jimmy's thoughts on the players that impressed him and the overall Glen Dimplex player of the match. We'll be hearing from the Glen Dimplex player of the match after full time as well. So don't go away when the game is over. Armagh looking for a free. Rachel Murray looking for a shot into the hands of the goalkeeper Jenny O'Rourke, and Jenny O'Rourke brings it out towards the 20-metre line to the Cavan player on the ground, but Cavan are not willing to wait around. Anya Finnegan trying to get past Ciara Hill. Ciara Hill has won the ball for Armagh, looks for the score that surely will wrap this up for Armagh. Ciara Hill puts the ball over the bar, and there's a lot of confusion going on. And the two umpires, I thought at first he was going for the white flag. There's a Cavan player on the ground. The referee is going in. I think it'll be only the lines person on the far side of the field that can assist in that. Jimmy, what was your thoughts?
Well, I don't know. Like from the crowd anyway, they looked like, or from the sound of it, it looked like, or it sounded like it was over the bar. But sure, every crowd's going to call for a close one these days, you know. But unfortunately, we've no Hawkeye here to go to if it was working or not. But look, I just hope that the linesman steps in if the two lads are unsure behind the goals. But that's serious work.
So we're about to see. I think he is going for the white flag here. So the point has been given. It's gone over the bar, and it's Ciara Hill with the score. And I think, Jimmy, that's nearly going to be it at this stage now. 1-11 to 2-3. So I think we wait another minute just in case, because we have a hold up in play and we don't want to make a premature announcement. It reminds me 20 minutes to go. A blow here for Cavan. Player off the field for them as well. Actually, the Cavan substitution, it was Carmel Fay on for Suzanne Cusick. I think it was mixing up my teams there at the moment. I think he called it Armagh, but it's actually a Cavan change, and the referee says the 3 times catch is going to be a free out for Armagh. And it's going to be taken, brought up the field as well. It's all just going against Cavan at the moment. Katie Comiskey, many might have thought she was surprised that she didn't start this game, but she is getting ready to come on the field to play in Armagh. In possession outside the 45-metre line as Ciara Donnelly looks for the space. Ciara Donnelly on the move, cut out by Rosie Crowe McKeever. And it's still Ciara Donnelly. Ciara Donnelly looking for the pass off here. Chance for Michelle McCarroll for a third of the day. Michelle McCarroll puts the ball over the bar. And it's another point for Armagh. 1-12 to 2-3. Katie Comiskey coming on the field of play for Ciara Hill. But anyway, Jimmy, we leave all that. It looks like Armagh are going to Croke Park. The players that impressed you for both teams and your overall Glen Dimplex player of the match.
It's been excellent. Like, you know, like the defence for Cavan, again, the two stalwarts of Erin Galligan and Rosie Crowe McKeever have been absolutely phenomenal in defence. You know, and then you have to give like Shanice up in the forwards. You know, every time she got the ball, she was
I'm just going to cut you off there for a moment, Jimmy, because Jennifer Curry has the ball, goes for a shot for Armagh, and there should be no doubts about that. That goes over the bar. That's definitely it now. It goes 1-13 to 2-3, and please continue.
Yeah, it's great. And then for Armagh, like, you know, when your big hitters, Ciara Donnelly and Leanne, mightn't have had the greatest of days, but you worked very hard. You still had the other players step up to the mark. And my player of the match today was solely her work rate, and when it was in the melting pot, halfway through the second half, she dug Armagh through it, and that is number 11, Sinead Quinn.
Sinead Quinn, Armagh's number 11, is the Glen Dimplex player of the match. We will hear from Sinead Quinn at the end of this game as Armagh are marching on to Croke Park. 1-13 to Armagh, 2-3 to Cavan, and play continues on. The 5 minutes have been played, 5:30 now. Referee spots a foul and looks like it's indicating a free out for Cavan, and it's going to be a free inside the 45-metre line. Anya Finnegan, you going to take it, but it's all over, and Armagh finish the job off in the final quarter. They hit 1-8 unanswered after Cavan got their second goal from Shanice Fitzsimons. Jennifer Curry with the goal for Armagh. They have won this game 16 points to 9 by 7 in the end. Jimmy Greville, your overall thoughts?
Like it was like the first half there was a lot of nerves in it, but they got to the match then in the second half. Like some super camogie there in the second half, end to end stuff. Like you can't fault the effort by any player out there. They gave it everything. You know what I mean? Like, and you can see Cavan there. Like they're going to be distraught. You know what I mean? Like they worked the hardest in parts of the game, but it was the experience of being in this position for many years that after getting Armagh across the line, like, you know, like with the cleverness of the few girls, Rachel Murray holding up the ball at times, you know what I mean, waiting for the ball, the player to come in off the shoulder, get the scores. Excellent, you know what I mean, like, and it was at the end of the day, it's like the real winner here today again is Camogie, because it has been an excellent advertising for the junior Camogie, like, you know what I mean, because like either one of them teams win, You know, like like if Armagh go on and win the All Ireland, you know, like there'd be no pushover in the intermediate either. And same with Cavan, you know what I mean. Next year, like when they get back to it again, you know what I mean. No doubt they're going to be in this position again, like you know what I mean. And they need to go one step further. And if they get up to intermediate, there'll be no pushover either.
It certainly won't be as well. We'll get more thoughts from Jimmy Greville in just a couple of moments. You can see Armagh, they're celebrating. We're going to take a break for a couple of minutes and then we will hear from the Glen Dimplex player of the match, Armagh, Sinead Quinn, with the final score here in Tullamore. Armagh are through to the All-Ireland final. They've won this game by 7 points. It finished Armagh 113, Cavan 2-3. Welcome back here to O'Connor Park in Tullamore, and delighted to be joined by Armagh's player of the match, Sinead Quinn. And just beforehand there, we're just going to make the presentation. Jimmy Greville, our match commentator, is going to make the presentation not just of the player of the match trophy, but also the beacon, the Bluetooth speaker that Sinead will no doubt enjoy when the championship is over. So let the presentation take place first.
Congratulations, well done.
So,
can I get a picture there?
We'll just get a picture there with Sinead and Jimmy first, and then we'll get a microphone there to Sinead, and we'll have a quick couple of words with her before we let her go and celebrate Armagh qualifying for the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Final. And you might notice management teams from Antrim and Clare knocking around as well as they get ready for their second game. So that's what we're doing here. So Jimmy Greville, our co-commentator with Armagh's player of the match, Sinead Quinn. So that's the photo taking place there. So Jimmy will hold all that for you there, Sinead, for a moment. We'll give you the box to go with that in a second, and he'll just give you a microphone as well. We're just getting all the technical stuff done here. So Sinead, you just hold that in your hand. First things first, congratulations. For the third year in a row, Armagh are back in the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, just not expecting that at all. The girls just really put it out there in the second half. Like, everyone just gave it everything we could, and it really paid off there. And
it was all about work rate. You came out very well at the start, but you weren't getting the scores to match. You did get a lovely point. Michelle McCarroll got a lovely point at the start of the game too. But Cavan turned it around. Shanice Fitzsimons with the 2 goals. And admittedly, I suppose when the second one went in with 15 minutes to go, it wasn't looking good for Armagh.
no, but I think all the real big players really stood up for us, like Ciara Donnelly and Jane O'Leary and Ciara Hill as well, who only came on and she's only back from injury as well, and Leon Donnelly in midfield. Everyone just really put in the work once, no one put their heads down, everyone just kept going for it.
The headlines will talk about Jennifer Curry's goal as well, but it was important from yourself straight after that Cavan goal that instigated the turnaround in the final quarter, and as you just mentioned then, everybody stepped up and make sure Cavan never got another chance.
Yeah. No, just
I can tell you're exhausted there at the moment, and I won't keep you too long because that's why you're here, because you worked your socks off like everybody else into the team. What does it mean to this Armagh team? I know there's a big expectation all year that you're expected to make a final, but you still have to get the job done. You've seen against Antrim the last day in the group stages and here today, how hard it is just to get to an All-Ireland final.
Yeah, I've only just joined the team a few months ago, but from the very start of the year, everyone's just been putting in all the work, and I suppose it's been, I know the girls won the All-Ireland in the COVID year in 2020, but I don't think it really was the same because they didn't get promoted, and I just think that some of these girls have been here for years and they're just waiting for this moment, and they're going to grab it this year.
Well, you're certainly going to have it anyway. You're going to be in Croke Park tomorrow fortnight as well. It begins Antrim and Clare, no doubt you'll be keeping an eye on that. Yeah. But Sinead, we're going to let you go and enjoy this moment as well. Thanks a million for joining us there as well. And you have your stuff there as well, and the Camogie Association will give you the box to go with the trophy there as well. Sinead, if you just grab it over there, they'll give you the box to go with the trophy as well. And well done, and we look forward to seeing you in Croke Park. Just before we finish up our coverage, Jimmy, again, you could just tell them, Sinead, how tired she was, but that's how hard Armagh worked to make sure they got this job done.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why she was player of the match, because she worked tirelessly for it, and she was for the team, and she hit the nail on the head there, all the big players for Armagh, mightn't have had, some of them mightn't have the biggest days, but still they all worked hard, they never gave up, and it's just it's a credit to them, they 3 years in a row. To 3 finals, back to back in Croke Park. Everybody wants to play in Croke Park, but you can play in Croke Park, but there's nothing better than playing in Croke Park and winning in Croke Park.
Just on the Cavan side as well, when they went 2-3 to 5 points up, it looked like the momentum was all with them. Armagh were back making mistakes as well, but they needed to push on, and players like Sinead Quinn stepped up and never really get them a right crack at stepping up and building on that second goal.
Definitely, 100%, and that's what, and that's one of the biggest points of it, the composure over Armagh. When Shanice did get that the second goal for them, they didn't panic. They went straight down the field, got a score, reset themselves, and then they went again. And when the goal opportunity came along, they took it. There wasn't too many goal opportunities for them. That's what I'm saying. Erin Galligan, a full back, absolutely phenomenal. She's a stalwart there and she didn't make it easy for them, but. One lapse of concentration, the goal opportunity came and Armagh took it.
And I suppose we have to compliment Jennifer Curry as well, because it looked like the angle was gone as well, but she backed herself to get the job done. I've shown her experience as well, but a point that followed after that as well. But it's players like that that are going to drive Armagh on if they are going to atone for last year's defeat to Wexford.
Oh, definitely, because she's been here, or she's been in this situation. She knows what it takes to win, and that experience around the younger girls in Armagh, it's unbelievable, But it's well and good putting in the performance here today. Winning semi-finals, it's great, but it's the big one. It's up the steps of the Hogan. That's that's when you really counts.
And that brings me to a final question before we wrap up the coverage of this game. Jim McKernan will have a stick to beat them with, because there was a lot of patches in the game where they didn't play as well as they could, as you've touched on already. He'll take pride out the last 15 minutes, but they'll need more than that if they're going to beat Antrim or Clare.
Oh, definitely. What Antrim and Clare are going to bring now is going to be physicality. I've come up against them twice this year, as well. And they have been, they're a physical team, but they're very clever. They read the game very well, both Armagh, or both Clare and Antrim, So, when they do get on the ball, they're going to be very dangerous. And Armagh do have their work to cut out to whoever wins, But whatever happens, we know on the 7th of August it's going to be a cracking junior final.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to the second semi-final as well, and that's the end of our coverage of our first game here in O'Connor Park in Tullamore in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship. Don't go away, we'll be back in half an hour for live coverage of a very, very exciting and intriguing contest. As you can probably see, members of the Clare and Antrim teams coming on the field of play at the moment. That throws in at 3:30, but Armagh are the first team to book their tickets to August the 7th in Croke Park for All-Ireland Camogie final day. They won beat Cavan by 113 to 2-3, and congratulations to Armagh. Who will they play? We'll be back in about half an hour for live coverage of the second game. I'd like to thank Jimmy Greville for joining me in the commentary box of the first game. Armagh the winners, the final score, Armagh 113, Cavan 2-3.